Hello, and welcome to Travel Quest Network's Weekly Chatter Live. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Harrell, and this is my co-host,
Jason Block. How you doing?
Welcome. Happy Friday to everybody, especially if you're joining us live. I mean, it could be Wednesday in December of 2023, and you just happened across this, and you're like, this looks like a lot of fun. So I would say this is an evergreen show. You can watch it anytime, but welcome. And if you are watching us live and you are a member of Travel Quest Network and a member of the Members Only Facebook group, you do not get a jacket for that. Someday, maybe, there could be a Members Only jacket. That is where the chatter is at. So please join the rest of our members and our team in there and chat it up. And we will definitely bring you into the show and share your wins, share your challenges. And something... Wait a minute, I always get nervous when there's something new, right? So...
Throwing you for a loop.
Basically, stay tuned if you're watching live the whole time. And make sure that if you are one of those people who are chatting it up in the Members Only Facebook group, or you have access to that area, that you are ready to access it later. Gosh, I'm awkward.
Wow.
Yeah, could that be a buzzkill?
Maybe be in a place where you can type something either on your mobile or on your keyboard.
There you go.
There we go.
I like how you say mobile and I say mobile. So
it's because you're an Anglophile.
Yeah, but Anglophile, mobile.
I know.
Yeah. Bile. Anyway, all right.
And say taco just for the...
Taco.
What?
Taco. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy good taco.
And that's today's Fun with Joshua.
That's our format. That's the format, Fun with Joshua. So it is March 3rd, 2023. If you are watching this somewhere down the road, this is the Weekly Chatter Live. If you are new to the show, again, you don't have to be a member of Travel Quest Network to watch us.
It's a lot cooler if you are.
Yeah, it is. But... say you're just like, hey, I need something to listen to, a cool podcast. You could be listening to this on a podcast station, or you could be watching it on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, anywhere. We're everywhere.
You got it.
Yeah. So we're going to keep it fun, keep it lively. And you know what, Jason? I was so mad. Well, I was mad about a couple of things last week.
What's that?
First... Our Velma couldn't join because I was having a technical meltdown. So just so everyone knows, Velma will be joining us.
Very good.
I mean, because it is definitely a better Chatter Live with Velma.
Absolutely.
So she's definitely joining us. And then I forgot to mention that we have a new addition to the travel wall, which is, he's not really travel related, but... Here he is. He's a dragon that I painted at one of those like sip and create crafts places. I was with travel friends, so
we'll count it. We'll count it.
Yeah, we'll count it. But I was really into this. They all made bowls and cups, and they were basically creating stuff that they wanted for their house.
Right.
I'm creating a dragon for the travel wall. Okay?
I like your style.
And a little child came by and said, oh, I love it. And I was like, he needs a name. Can you give a name? Like, I was doing my best, like, Disney Channel voice. I was like, he needs a name. And she goes, Dragon! So that is his name. Anyway, I just wanted to point him out. We are accepting entrance for the travel wall because it's kind of empty. But hopefully we'll be adding a lot more this year.
I think so.
Because we're going to be hitting the road pretty soon.
We sure are.
Into April, what are we doing?
The end of April? The middle of April. We're kicking off our road shows, as you know.
Oh, yeah. Why did I get the end of April? Right, it's the middle of April. Yeah, middle of April we start. Oh yeah, because it's around my birthday.
Details.
Yeah, details. Like show up or don't. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, middle of April we hit the road for our road shows, and we are doing it Motley Crue style. That's gonna stick. We are doing city to city. Our team is hitting the country and getting to be with our members and our travel partners. This is the second year that we're doing the road shows, and we have opened up some more spaces. So now you can,
Nice.
a few more people can get into all of them.
Cool.
And then at the end of our roadshow tour, like Motley Crue, I still think we need band shirts for this.
Totally.
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 Send us your designs for band shirts for the road
I would
shows.
like that.
Yeah, that would be a great contest to have. But at the end, we're going to do our very first core summit in Nashville on the Sunday before the Travel Leaders Edge conference.
That's right.
And it is going to be cool. This is first part is all about creating your sales plan. The second part is all about creating your marketing plan to achieve the sales plan.
Yep.
And then what's the best part of a Travel Quest Network event? I mean, one of the best parts, I guess I should say. I'm really underselling
Fun and
everything.
cocktails?
Fun and cocktails at the end. And I have been talking to so many of our travel partners over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're excited because not only do the people we work with on a regular basis, you see in the supplier source all the time, a lot of them are going to be there, but then the rest of their crew is going to be there, their executives, and
time.
there's no party like a Travel Quest Network party.
You got it.
So anyway, I'm very, very excited about that. So why don't we go over to the chat?
I hear it
Yeah.
bubbling away. So it looks like
Yeah, we have sound effects. We have sound effects. All right. Oh, we do have we have a new sound effect. Okay,
Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah.
to go with.
Yeah, girl.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, I tried to spice it up a little bit.
I like it, I
Okay.
like it.
So Cynthia from Birmingham, hello all, happy Friday, great to see you, Cynthia. Thank you for joining.
She is always, I think, first
always
in.
there. She's
First in every week.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And not only is she first in, but she is pretty much always the first one to say hello.
Yeah.
And I think that's a challenge. I think she's
Who can
really
beat her?
so
No
for
one can-
2 years. I think she has been pretty much the first person to say something. So who can beat Cynthia at saying hello in the chat? I don't know. Cynthia, it is great to see
She
you.
is the undisputed champion.
Yeah, girl.
And I love this because you were commenting on. I really pride myself on music. I love music, and I try to choose different tracks every single week for the countdown. And today it was supposed to be disco in my mind this morning, but then it kind of ended up a little bit like a little
it had a
slow
disco
jam,
vibe,
right?
kinda.
Like it was like. So what did you say?
I said you were channeling your inner Jack Tripper.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he went down like, "Where's Mr. Roper?" And then
And Larry,
what was
Larry.
the guy with the hairy chest and the chain? And I go, "Larry." Like
Yeah.
we know, so we've really like said exactly how old we are
I know, right?
by that reference. But the reason why I mentioned the music is founder of Travel Quest Network, Bonnie Lee, has chimed in to say, "Love the jazzy music."
There we go.
So big stamp of approval.
Yeah, Bonnie.
So Jason knows this about me, and maybe some of you know this about me too. But I'm not real good with the maths. I only use them when I need to prove a point, and that's that's often, but I can work my way around it. I miscalculated.
Oh.
We have an anniversary to celebrate. Speaking of Bonnie Lee.
I believe we do. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna own it. It is Travel Quest Network's 25th anniversary.
I believe it is.
I mean,
Isn't that
can we
amazing?
get a little? Woo!
Yeah, girl.
Okay, we got all the sound effects. So, stop sound effects. So I love that Bonnie is tuned in.
Yeah.
Thank you, 25 years ago, and her story is that she saw a little ad. There used to be things called the classified ads
Right.
in the newspaper about sell travel, become a travel agent. And I want to say it was like $99 or something. It was something.
I think it was
I think it was
yeah.
something like that. And so she started her travel business, serial entrepreneur. She sold fake Cabbage Patch Kids. I think it's legal to say that.
Hopefully
and-
the statute of limitations has expired. If
yeah,
not.
I mean, she did end up on the news. I think that really kind of got the Cabbage Patch Kids people unhappy. She sold wind socks and then went into travel, I'm sure, amongst other things. And we're so grateful that she did. But one of the parts of the story that I know she probably is already, like I'm hearing dinging in my ear. I'm sure she's already chiming in on this. The reason, so she started as a travel agency or a travel agent. And she was a part of a host agency
Right.
that was awful.
Right.
And she said, I can do it better.
Yep.
And that entrepreneurial spirit kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
And 25 years later, hello, Travel Quest Network.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. And you wanted to share something today.
Yeah, so we just finished up February, and through the first 2 months of February, would you believe that this is 2023 is Travel Quest Network's biggest year ever, and our agents earning more commission than ever, and by a wide margin, and that's fantastic.
So,
So congratulations to all of you who are out there just crushing it.
yeah.
That was kind of like a sound effect, like I insulted somebody.
Yeah, that is. It's not. I
Where's the
labeled it
yeah
as,
girl? Or the
I,
oh
I-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, go.
Okay, yeah,
There we go.
she definitely
Give
is
me a
much
yeah,
better
girl.
at it. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Isn't it
amazing.
incredible?
It's amazing. Yeah, and again, like I said, I've been meeting with our travel partners, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What is going on over there?"
Right.
Because it's not, and it's also not just one thing.
No.
We're selling a lot of everything,
Yeah.
in all categories,
Yeah.
and big groups on luxury ships. I mean, it's
That is one thing I will say as a network, and we see it. We talk about it here from week to week. Occasionally, we are seeing more and more people get into the idea of group travel earlier in their business journey than perhaps they would have a few years ago. Whether it's a travel with me trip like we've talked about, or it's just saying, hey, I'm going to build a small group, right? And that really is a great way to grow your business. Now, there's things to be aware of when you're working with groups, right? And so that's why Velma coaches an awful lot of people on the right way to structure and manage your group. Yeah, but it's a great way to build your business and get it going with some real substance. So I think that's definitely contributing to it. The U.S. consumer is. We've talked about this before. They had a couple years where they were just buying stuff, fixing their houses, and all that kind of stuff. Well, that stuff's done. They don't need any more stuff, and they're looking to spend their money on travel. And we're all the beneficiaries of that.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time working on their house, and now they're like, I need to get the heck out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
There's only so many times you can paint the bathroom. I mean, right?
Yeah. Oh, painting bathrooms
That's
is
the
the
worst.
worst.
It's the
yeah.
worst.
That in
So
kitchens.
I have a funny story. Speaking
Okay.
of painting the bathroom. So when Jillian and I were first married,
Okay.
we were, we were 24, 23, and her sister, who at the time she must have been 18, 19,
Okay.
she came to visit, and we were in the middle of remodeling this little house that we bought, our first house, and for some reason, we thought it'd be fun for her 19-year-old sister who had just, started college to help us remodel the house that weekend, right? So we're not going to hang out with her and go do something fun. We're going to recruit her to help, paint and stuff like that. So we decided we were going to paint the guest bathroom on this particular weekend, and her sister did not look real enthused about the idea, but she was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I walk into the bathroom. I was working on something else. I walk into the bathroom. I see her on the ladder. I look up. She has a paintbrush. I kid you not. There's no paint on it, and she's just doing this. Like, just
Nice.
looking like she's painting, like waiting for us to say, never mind, stop, go do something else. You can just hang out. So every time painting a bathroom comes up, I just picture her on the ladder doing this.
I mean,
Have you ever screwed up a job just so someone said, like, don't do that anymore?
Well, let's not go there since I am at work. But
I didn't mean here. Never mind.
no, I did. My dad thought it would be fun to teach me how to paint the exterior of the house at
That's a job.
probably like 5 or 6.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was supposed to
How
do
did that
everything I could reach. But there are photos where I decided to practice the alphabet instead. I mean, so, you know, not quite fake painting, but yeah, it wasn't really helping the project along. So anyway, happy 25th anniversary to all of Travel Quest Network.
Isn't that exciting?
And it is very exciting, and just like if you went to the Magic Kingdom, I feel like there may be some parades. There may be some puppets involved. I mean,
Sure.
there's a lot of space in this office that
Puppets.
puppets. I really feel like, and maybe even some songs like, you know, can you feel the magic? It could be something like that.
Okay.
Anyway. All right, happy 25th anniversary, and thank you, Bonnie, for starting us on this journey. All right, Hannah said, happy Friday. I've missed 2 weekly chatters in a row, and it's nice to be back live.
Oh,
Yeah, go.
Glad to have you.
welcome back.
Yes. And Alan's joined us. Happy Friday. Stepping up my marketing game with custom shipping boxes for client gifts. Check them out on Facebook page if you haven't yet. Alan, I saw these. They fully branded.
Nice.
I mean, he could basically start like a mail order skincare company where the box comes and like he could just have like a shipping fulfillment center. He's like,
That's very cool.
yeah, it's I saw them, Alan.
Well done, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
Great job. And thank you.
Did he get the first official oh yeah?
Yeah, because I threw the other one in just as
Just as a
for
text.
Travel Quest.
But that was
yeah. That's you got the first.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff said, happy Friday, everyone. And Cynthia from Birmingham, she's coming in with a win this week.
nice.
Okay, so this is kind of going along to what you were
Okay.
talking about.
What do we got?
I beat my total sales from last year by $2,500 in the first 2 months of 2023.
Heck yeah.
Now, her sound effect that she added was squee. I don't know.
I love it though.
You know what, Cynthia? Can you
Hey,
record
when
that?
you have that kind of performance, dude, you can make whatever kind of sound you want.
Yeah, squee. Okay. I think I'll record that and just if you want to do it, Cynthia, send it to me. But we're gonna get it on the board here.
I think isn't that awesome?
So she said the wave finally hit me this week. So Jason,
Yeah.
for those who are watching, because it's funny because my mama watches the show
Does
and
she?
she does not sell
Aw,
travel,
isn't that
right?
cute?
Yeah. So when I come home, she's like,
Hi,
"Oh,
Joshua's
I
mom."
saw, yeah, MJ, it's good to see you." So we talk about travel things.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that I learned, because I came from a completely different industry, is in the travel industry, there's acronyms. We try to hit them a bit, but wave season.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it all throughout the pandemic because as travel started to come back, everyone kept referring to it as wave season hit early or wave season hasn't stopped. What is wave season?
Well, as most of our members who have been doing this a while, and those of you who have experienced it lately, you know, I guess back in the old days, right, where it was just retail agencies and you advertised in the yellow pages, right? Every part of the country was a little bit different in their seasonality, right?
Okay.
And so there would be a time where business would really pick up, right, and then it would fall off, right? So that immediate rise was kind of like the wave kind of crashing and then it would kind of tail off, right? And typically that's kind of at the beginning of the year, especially up in the north. You'd get this big wave in, you know, could be even late December, but definitely into January and February in advance of spring break travel. and you'd see some different seasonalities. Like in Texas, they behave a little bit differently, right? Because it's not 4 below zero in March. But there's still generally
in Texas they behave differently.
that
Period.
right? There's generally that Q1 wave, right? And so during the pandemic, we saw this thing where that got all distorted, right? And we saw, it was just like it was spread out, but people were traveling very close in because they weren't sure what was going to happen. And this year we're kind of getting back to that normal seasonality, but it's a pretty big wave of booking activity.
So Cynthia, we know, is in Alabama. So the wave, I think, came from the north, and she said it just hit her. So that's how the wave worked. So thank you for that description. Let's see. So Bonnie just said again, she loves the jazzy music. Perfect for a Friday afternoon, getting ready for a chill weekend.
Nice.
How many of you are chilling this weekend, and how many of you are busting a move? And by busting a move, I'm talking about cranking out proposals, doing your work, because a lot of our members get started. They got a full-time gig.
Yep.
And if it's busy like this, that's when you got to do the work. So just remember, take time for you.
Yeah, girl.
Because you're important. All right. People are loving Alan's boxes. And Katie has joined us with Kara from Virgin Scarlet Lady Ship.
Nice.
Ahoy! So Kara won a Virgin Voyages cruise, kind of like what could possibly happen at some point today if you stay tuned, right? There could be prizes, right?
I think there could be.
There could be.
There
prizes.
always could be.
There always could be. But she did, and she said, I'm going to take a fellow Travel Quest Network member
I think
and
that's
friend, Katie. So they are on the Scarlet Lady right now, and I just want to know, have they jumped in the pool with their clothes on? Because it's so typical of Kara to do that. It's not at all. But I want to know.
I hope they're having a great time.
I hope they're having a fantastic time.
We want to hear about it, so let us know what it's like.
Yes. Stephanie said, "Oh, slow jazz. I feel like I need to pour some wine and make some pasta."
Nice.
Is I don't know, when I think of slow jazz, I think I gotta pour some wine and make some pasta.
Well, that's the thing. You know that particular track. That was like a tweener track. It had a jazzy vibe to it. Had a little bit of a disco thing that I was hearing. But some music, it hits different people in different ways. There's no wrong answer to these things.
I'm sorry. I want to make sure. Okay. All right. She's there. All right. Good. Yeah. There's no. I just you drink, pour your wine.
Yeah.
Make your pasta. But when
love
you
it.
say make your pasta,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she gets. I've always wanted to be that person that's like, I'm gonna make some pasta right now, and
Yeah.
I roll it out on my table.
they make the pasta.
Yeah.
Have you ever
and
done that?
No, I've never done it.
I have
but
never done that either.
But I saw some kind of show, and they were in Italy and whatever, and it was time to make dinner, and they're making pasta, and they're draping it over the back of the chair.
That'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
We need to do that sometime.
Oh my gosh. There's a cooking segment. We should do a cooking segment. Now, Bonnie and I tried a cooking segment a few times, and that was interesting.
I love the last time they did that cooking segment was it around Christmas or New Year's we did that?
Oh, when they did.
Yeah,
when they were
that
having
was
the
great.
family. Yeah, that was like their Christmas. That was their cooking segment.
Hey, Bonnie,
And-
well, I'm still waiting for my invite for next year because that looked really good.
Yeah, those of you who watched, I mean, it was a lot. At the
Yeah.
end, I think they made like 17 dishes, and I think we were only there for 5 minutes. So, yeah, make some pasta. Let's see. Katie said wine and pasta are always a good idea. So, Debbie, sold my first Uniworld cruise. Great trip too. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, girl.
Nice.
That is definitely a challenge because you guys sell really cool trips, and a lot of some of you are doing a lot of them.
Yeah.
That my FOMO would kick in.
Yeah.
It would absolutely kick in.
Oh,
Like
for sure.
right now, I'm mad that I'm not with Katie and Kara because I think the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady would be a cool experience.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, so many travel advisors, I mean, within Travel Quest Network, but even outside of it, are, you know, I don't know, like, and I do this too. Like, I'm working until my next trip. And it could be a work trip or it could be a vacation, but it's always, I always have to have something on the horizon. I've talked to many members who are exactly the same way. So, like, you know, they need something on the calendar for, like, within the next 90 days, and they're kind of working to get to that, and then that cycle just repeats. So it is a constant, like, okay, my clients are going here. Oh, that looks really cool. That needs to go on the list somewhere, and it's like a puzzle. Where do you mix in, you know, the time to do all those things, and that's the fun of it, though.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
So I know you've been to a lot of places.
Uh-huh.
I have not. I was raised by wolves. We stayed on the prairie.
Didn't you just say your mother was listening?
That's
you were not raised by wolves.
That's not going to go very well. Yeah,
Joshua will not be making pasta.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
tonight.
Tonight, no pasta. It's like pick up a taco. But I'm thinking
Yeah.
we should, because not only do we have the road shows and we have Travel Quest World in Orlando up in September, but there's quite a few trips and then personal trips. I know you've got, I've looked at your calendar, you've got some cool things coming up. I'm thinking we should do like, where have we been so far? Okay.
Okay.
And then update it throughout the year. Like, so I haven't been to many places.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Michigan. I have been to Michigan. Just was an aside there. I've been to Michigan. But we do them, and it's like it's not necessarily like how many in total. It's how fast we get to new places.
Okay.
Like we track that.
Hey, I'm all for
Competition.
If it's travel tracking and there's a game involved, I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And
just
then we
tell
could
me
have
what the
like a
rules
little animation of like a little like almost like a treasure map. Anyway, that's very distracting, I know. All right, Alan, Wynn, about to close a 40K private driver Scotland trip next week.
Sweet.
Alan, who are you using for that? Please drop that in the chat
Yes, great question.
because that is talked about a lot, those private driver trips. And I think that would be really cool. Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, actually, in Ireland, I went with, gosh, it was quite a while ago now, but I went with my grandfather, my father, my sister, my grandmother, and we rented, we didn't rent it, we went to a tour company,
Yeah.
but it was a small little, you know, minibus or kind of, you know, the European little minibuses that they have. And we had a guide, and it would drive us around, and it was like a 10-day tour of Ireland, and yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be very, very cool. And Scotland, I have been to Scotland too. So Michigan and Scotland, those are on my list. We need to start, whoever's working on that graphic.
He's jumped out to an early lead.
Yeah.
I
But
hope I can catch him.
in Scotland, just getting around all over the place,
Mhm.
there is so many cool bits of scenery. And because I am a James Bond fan, there's a lot of those
cool
mountains.
James Bond stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
for sure.
All right, that was distracting. I apologize.
No,
and
that's
and
great.
Velma, we're gonna get to you. And Velma, I don't even want you to be on the tracker chart because I feel like she has been
She
almost to
she
every
might blow us
content.
both away
every continent.
combined.
Yeah. Mary, I'm taking a break. Sounds good. It's wine. Thumbs up. So I have to say something about Mary because something about Mary. It's so funny. There was a movie, right? So Mary
yes.
in the chat, I was just talking to somebody recently.
Uh-huh.
Mary is the very first member of Travel Quest Network I ever met.
Really?
Yep. Met her in February of 2018. I went to meet Bonnie and Walt for the first time. It was in Minnesota, and there was snow everywhere, but it didn't really bother anybody. And that was perplexing to me because it was a lot of snow. And Mary just stopped by. So Mary was the very first member of Travel Quest Network I ever met. I don't know if she knows that, but
Yeah, girl.
That's awesome.
thank you, Mary. For the 25th anniversary, I mean, let's, talk about stories. I don't know. All right. Going to get through the chat because we want to go over to Velma. Let's see here. Hannah said, win for the week. More inquiries than I can really manage. I have potential clients asking me to be put on an imaginary wait list because I have really only had room to take on returning and referral clients. I like that. So that's when you're like, I can put you on the wait list, but like an interior designer or that's exactly, you are a travel designer that is in demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
All right. Another person in demand is our Tyler Rose. I'm giving her a heads up because I see she's like scribbling something on a piece of paper. Hey, Velma, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
I love that she has roses all over
Oh, yeah.
on the back.
Oh, yes.
So
Roses.
Velma, I can't remember. We've talked about it before, but I think I misquoted you. Is Tyler, Texas, the rose capital of the U.S. or of the world?
World.
Okay, I thought so.
How is that? Okay, I don't know if we have time to go into that, but I have to hear the story on this.
Yeah, but there's layers of the onion. But you just
Huge rose production business. I mean, there are rose fields
Really?
everywhere, and we ship them all over the world. Yes.
I had no earthly idea.
so if you're making pasta tonight and you got wine and your magnificent other brings you roses, they might be from Tyler.
They might be.
They could
Well-
be. And certain times of the year here in Tyler, they're on every street corner, and you can get a dozen long stem roses for $2.
Oh,
For
so
$2?
for $2.
Two, one, two, two.
So is that like an insult if your sweetie gives you roses in that time of the year? You're like, oh, wow, you cheapskate, thanks.
Yeah.
Or is it still like a nice thing?
You're like, we're in Tyler, Texas. I want irises. I want irises. Oh my goodness. Well, Velma, last week we couldn't dial you in, so you had numbers from last week that we wanted to talk about, and you
Yes.
had stories to tell, and you got numbers for this week. And for those of you who are joining or watching us, listening for the first time, Velma comes to us every week with the top 3 positions in terms of revenue that has been invoiced in the last week. So it's a great little temperature read of the booking activity. So Velma, I'm going to pass it on over to you.
Okay. All right. So last week, I didn't get to come on the show and give these numbers, and there's something kind of unique in one of these numbers. So I want to go ahead and give last week. Last week, in the number 3 spot for sales, the gross sales for number 3 were 112,273 with a revenue of 14,399. And that member sold Beds Online, Centrav, Classic, Delta Vacations, Expedia, and GoAway. In the number 2 spot, gross sales 174,373 with a revenue for that week of 19,315. And that member sold FunJet, Delta Vacations, Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity. Now here's the interesting number. This is exciting. Okay, gross sales 46,490. Okay, you're thinking, well, that's not so great. But revenue for the week 23,061. And Joshua, I can hear you saying, how is that? How did that happen? How could that be? How could that be? Okay, this is how this happened. This member, they only had 3 suppliers they invoiced: Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity. But the Norwegian was the tour conductor credit for the group she had invoiced in the past. And this, she earned tour conductor credit, and that really pumped up the revenue for that week. So group business can be very profitable. And
Hey, Velma, in a nutshell, can you explain to those people listening who don't know what a tour conductor credit is, or a TC.
Yes.
What the heck that is?
I can. We had a member this week she had her very first group she sold. She was so excited. It was with Royal Caribbean. She sold 8 cabins.
Uh-huh.
And because she sold 8 cabins, she earned TC credit. She got one, it's, 1 for 8, 1/2 of a berth. I won't go into all that. But anyway, she earned almost $600 in extra credit that she earned for that group. And it was just 8 cabins. So you see, it can really start to add up.
It sure can. And
It sure
I
can.
would-
And you know what? You can use the TC credit if you actually have a tour conductor that's taking the group as a group leader. But if you don't, you just add that to your commission.
that's right.
Yeah,
So-
girl.
And you have some training out there in
I do.
World Via Pro that talks about that, right?
A couple of videos that we've talked about that. And then if there's ever if you're confused, quite not sure how it's working, just send me a message and we'll have a meeting.
Yeah, if you want to get to those videos, the easiest way to do it is to just type in groups in the search bar on World Via
Yes.
Pro, and you'll see a whole list of content around groups, but you'll definitely get to the videos that Velma created. And she truly is the expert, because I've tried to play a group builder, and Velma has slapped my hand a few times. So I'm just saying, it's a good it's good for your business, but there's some things you should know.
Absolutely.
And Velma's a great resource for that. All right, Velma, let's
Okay.
take it on in.
Yeah. Okay. Sales for this week. In the number 3 spot, gross sales of 71,980 with a weekly revenue of 12,956. And this member sold NCL, Princess, Regent, and Explora. That's a new one. That's we don't hear that supplier too
Yeah.
often. Yeah. And then in the number 2 spot, gross sales of, now we're getting up here in the numbers here, $299,342. Gross sales for 1 week. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, can't believe it. And then the weekly revenue, 33,531. And that member sold Princess, Royal Caribbean, Delta Vacations, Celebrity, Funjet, Sandals, and Universal. I would say they're a full service agency. And then in the number 1 spot, $216,000 gross revenue for the week, $33,987. That's just, it's really unbelievable. That's 1 week. Whew.
Incredible numbers.
Incredible numbers. And they sold Holland America, Princess, Viking, Vacation Express, and the sale that earned them the most revenue for the week was with Nightly Tours. Nightly Tours, they are an awesome company. I'm so proud they are one of our preferred suppliers. I use them over the years. If you need an FIT trip in Alaska, Nightly Tours, they do it all. You can even rent an RV from them
Really?
Oh, interesting.
and you get commission. Oh, yeah. So,
The commission.
Well, of course.
yes.
A lot of crews in those numbers this week, Velma.
Lots of cruise. Yes. Lots of cruise this
Tis
week.
the season, right?
It is wave season.
Wave season. Well, Velma, thank you. That's exciting. And
Yeah.
and happy 25th anniversary to Travel Quest Network. And
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for being a part of the magic that is Travel Quest Network.
Absolutely.
I don't have I need like a magic wand sound.
No,
All right.
Pixie
You
dust.
do the sounds fine.
Would you say?
You do the sounds just fine. We don't need another sound
Oh,
effect.
there we
You're
go.
good. Yeah.
So we were in a meeting this morning,
Yeah.
and I my drive in, I don't know, I was excited, I was
Uh-huh.
thrilled. And I started in this meeting singing Heaven Must Have Sent You by Bonnie Pointer, which was from the 70s. Yeah, a disco song. And it was, I went more than just a little bit. I went a little bit too far with it. But anyway, Velma had to listen to it.
Shaking her head.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, it was and she was in charge of the meeting, so she was really irritated. So anyway, I adore you, Velma. Happy 25th anniversary, Travel Quest Network, and we will see you next week, okay?
All
Thanks,
right.
Velma.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness, I adore her. All right, so
Absolutely.
I love that she highlighted that one of those top sales positions sold Explora Journeys.
Yeah.
Because we have loads of events next week, virtual, and there's a few
What's
in
on the
person.
docket?
But the ones I wanted to call out was on the 6th, on Monday, at 2 Eastern. There's a whole overview of Pensight. And if you haven't used Pensight before, it is easy, and it gives you access to some really cool hotel programs. So if you have not yet experienced Pensight, you're going to get a full demo of it. You can check that out on World Via Pro and look in the events. It's now under the Learn tab over to the left, events, and you can see a whole calendar of the events. So you look for the Pensight one. And then on Thursday, the 9th at 3 Eastern, Kathy Liu, who has actually been in the studio before when she was with another brand. Actually, she was the very first travel partner that visited our office in Atlanta, this office here.
Really?
Yeah. She showed up unannounced. We were still moving in. And I was like, who are you? And she said, I'm Kathy Liu. And anyway, she's fabulous. She's now with Explora Journeys, and her and Erica, our new education manager, they're going to have a good old-fashioned chin wag around Explora Journeys. So if you have not gotten familiar with them, tune in.
Pretty cool product.
And then Friday the 10th at 12:30, we have our friend over at Allianz, Steve Ferry. He's going to be joining us. And, like, insurance. I know. I feel so bad for the guy, because the moment you say insurance, somebody's like, "Oh, that's got to be boring." No, it's not, and it's important. It's a great way to expand your sell. It's highly profitable. It's very important again. But the reason why you want to tune in Friday the 10th at 12:30 Eastern. Again, this is going to be in the World Via Pro event, or it is in the World Via Pro event calendar. He is going to be with Erica and rolling out new products available to our members that until this session you didn't have access to.
Ooh, exciting.
So this is not just learn about insurance. This is learn about new products that are available to you. And then
And Steve is great. Everyone always has a lot of questions around insurance, because there are some details there, and Steve is great at kind of breaking it down and helping you understand these products and how you are able to offer them the right way. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot. And then there is a American Airlines Vacations and Hilton are holding an event in Houston, on the 9th. It's an in-person event. There's in-person events. Yay! So please check out the calendar for that. If you are in the Houston area, please check that out, because I know they'd love to see you. Julie from American Airlines Vacations is going to be there. You definitely want to stop by and see her. Now, I have other things that I want to hit real quick.
Okay.
So, if you've missed it, I don't know how you missed it if you are a member of Travel Quest Network, but on Monday we launched the World Via Pro CRM
We did?
beta. Yes, we did.
I hadn't heard.
I had someone ask me, when is it launching? And I was like, how did you miss it? It's been everywhere. And when you log into World Via Pro, you can see our CRM there.
Yep.
Now, very, very excited. I'm very excited because we've been working on it for a very long time. And so it was. I shared this last week. It was just so nice to see it come to life.
Yeah.
But the roadmap, which you've shared many times, especially on our all calls and during the road shows this year, there are more capabilities that will be unlocking as we go. Actually, quite quickly.
Some quite soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So get in there, take it for a test drive. Start getting familiar with it, and more is coming, and then more is coming beyond the CRM. So I just stay really in tune to World Via because we've got some great
Start
stuff.
your day there.
Yeah, start your day. Make that your homepage. Make that your homepage. It is that important. So want to make sure everybody knew that again. And then I was talking to our friend Cheryl from Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Cheryl's been working with us, I mean, all of
For
our
years,
brands for a
yeah.
very, very long time. And I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she said something that blew my mind.
What's that?
She said, I just have an issue with travel professionals. And I was like, whoa,
Okay.
where's this going to go?
Yeah.
Like, are you having a career crisis right now? Like
What was the issue?
The issue is business cards.
Oh.
Okay? So let me blow your mind with this one, okay?
I'm listening.
So Cheryl, she's with Cayman Islands. And guys, if you sell Hawaii, you need to be looking at Cayman Islands, okay? People are not connecting the dots. Lots of similar options and a little closer for some people to get to. So definitely check that out. But she says, because she goes to all these events, she goes to trade shows, things like that. She goes home with a bunch of business cards from travel advisors who she has met and she wants to stay in touch with.
Right.
She's going to put them in her CRM, so the next time she's in Fort Lauderdale, or there's an event in Fort Lauderdale with one of her colleagues, she can invite them.
Yeah.
People are doing business cards that don't even have addresses on them, or even email addresses. And the reason being is, if you work from home, maybe you don't want to put your home address on there, which I get. I mean, I understand it. I mean, although everybody can look up anybody's address anywhere, but I get it. If you don't want to put your home address, if you work from home, if you don't put your home address, Cheryl's tip is at least put your city and state and make sure there's a phone number and an email address. These are things missing on business cards, and she's seeing it a lot. Because if she doesn't have where you are in the country or a way to contact you, it goes right in the bin. And that's not where you want your cards to go. So I want to share this tip with you because it blew my mind, because when she goes to these events, this is her way to connect with people who are interested in the product, and she wants to get them to other opportunities and things like that.
Sure.
But if she doesn't have contact information, she can't. And then the other thing, I don't know if you've had this experience. I have. I was at an event, and someone who now is a very good friend of mine, I said, do you have a card? I want to make sure I have your information. She was like, no, I have an app, and I can tap your phone with my app or whatever. Well, no, she couldn't. I had to download an app to get the thing, okay? And then somebody else tried to do it to me, and I thought, oh, yeah, I have the app. No, it's a different app. Yeah. So while it does seem nice and it's cool, it's actually not very convenient. So kind of old school marketing, do some business cards, but make sure you have some information that people can add to their CRM, because you're going to miss out, and you don't want to spend money on a card that goes into a bin. There you go.
There you go.
Also, well, I have other things, but I'll save that because I feel like we want to have some fun.
We do. I tell you what, you got me thinking about the Pinsight session coming up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go off script here for a second.
He does often. I just roll with it.
You love when I do that.
Yeah.
So Pinsight, as you know, gives you opportunities to book into several of the Travel Leaders hotel programs, right?
Yeah.
Worldwide, Select. They have the Bonatel
Hotel.
rates. So we'll do a little quick giveaway here. $250 air certificate, or Air Credit. To the first person who can put in the chat, what is the Bonitel commission rate in Pinsight that you can earn on hotels?
Okay, but before you do that,
Yep.
you have to be a member of Travel Quest Network
Yes, you
members only Facebook group. That's
Correct.
the chat that he's talking about because there's chat
Thank
in
you,
all the
Joshua.
platforms. Yes,
He's
those
going to
are
have
the,
me owing certificates to 9,000 people.
Yeah, and yeah, it would
We
be
don't want
like
that.
Mad Max on YouTube or something like that. Okay, all right. Now see, now you do something like that where it's the first like quick draw.
Uh-huh.
All right, so hold on. I want to make sure. Okay, so here we go. All right. So is it Dan came in with 20%?
That is not correct.
That is not correct, Dan. What is
And I hope I'm not going to be giving the wrong number here.
I feel like I do know what it is.
That is not the number I have in front of me.
Okay, so if you are right, Dan, we'll come back
I should
to you.
rephrase the standard, and we will fact check ourselves after the fact just to make sure. But
All right.
the standard commission rate for Bonitel.
So Andy said 12%.
No.
Wendy said 20. Alan said 14.
Nope.
Kim said 18.
Close.
Christina said 15. Lisa said 20. Stephanie said 13. Rachel said 20. Lacey said 16. And Amy came in with 17.
I believe it is 17.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying to log in to back check
I'm
himself.
going to make sure. I want to make sure. But
Yeah.
I believe it is 17. But even if I am wrong and it's 18 or 16, I'm pretty sure it's 17. But typically, hotels are 10%, and some of those you don't collect the commission, so you're really looking like on average somewhere between 6 and 9%, depending on the hotel you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some of these little hotels that are independent hotels, in a far off land. And guess what? Sometimes they don't pay commission very quickly or ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be a challenge to actually collect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what matters, not what you think it's going to be, but what actually comes in. So 17% through that Bonitel program, like that's significant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really boosts your margin in hotels. So anyway, check out that program.
Yeah, and what I love about Pinsight is I'm looking for a property, or I'm looking at a destination. I'm looking for a property close. You're getting all of those rates. You're seeing all the programs that are available, and some of those programs can really maximize your client's experience. So not only can you earn additional commission, your clients can have a really cool experience. And
Yeah.
So it was the worldwide program.
Mm-hmm.
I booked about 10 days, 10 nights
Mm-hmm.
in a swank hotel in Mayfair,
Uh-huh.
London. Not that I like English things at all. I mean, I was living it up,
You were having
okay?
tacos every night. And
Do you know how much I paid for my room less than I would probably pay for like the hotel on the interstate kind of driving down to Florida in the middle of nowhere? Like, it was stupid.
That's
And
awesome.
there was fruit basket every day, fresh flowers. I'm just
There's
saying.
some great properties
Yeah.
in those programs. So do check that out.
Yeah.
But I want to get to, excuse me, Joshua, I know that you love the beach and,
The hula.
hanging out poolside
Okay.
is always at the top of your list.
It is.
For those of you who don't get my sarcasm, you might find Joshua with a big sun hat and the old lifeguard sunscreen.
Yeah, it would be a giant one. And the last time we were together in a getaway, our annual trip with our Crown members, I was hiding. I would go from like shadow to shadow as we were touring property and yeah. It was like, let me find some dark space to be. Okay, so what do you?
So I bad news is, you love Disney too. So the bad news is Blizzard Beach, one of their water parks, is closed for refurbishment.
Yes.
The good news is that Typhoon Lagoon is reopening on March 19th. So those of you who are Disney sellers, Disney lovers, getting ready for spring break time, and Mr. Harrell here will be first in line for the water slide. that's going to reopen on March 19th. So just wanted you to know that.
So as a kid,
Yeah.
because MGM opened around that same time as Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
Typhoon Lagoon holds a special place in my heart.
I love Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't think I've ever been to Blizzard Beach, but
So-
is it icy and warm, or is it just?
It's like a North Pole themed water park.
Gotcha.
I prefer Typhoon Lagoon, but that's just me. Okay, so normally, the headlines, we like to bring in some fun, interesting, goofy headlines that we see from. It's not always the hard hitting news in the industry.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for hard hitting news, this is not the show
This is
for
not-
you.
this is
Not
not
at
where we do
all.
that.
No.
But I did want to make sure that everyone saw that the EU's program, where they were going to require you to have a permit before visiting and charge the €7 entry fee, they've decided to push that back to 2024. UK is still going to have that later this year, a very similar program, but the EU one is sliding back to 2024. But that permit will be valid for 3 years when they do it. So, €7 for a 3-year permit. It's not that big a deal. But it won't be till 24. Did you know? I saw this. Did you know what the world's most expensive airline ticket is? Published fare airline tickets, and not private jet or anything like that.
Oh.
I know you like luxury, so I try to bring you something luxurious.
I know, but you said standard airline.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. I don't.
It is for a one way.
Okay.
One way, $66,000 on Etihad from JFK to Abu Dhabi. $66,000. Before that, you don't just get a seat. No. You get a 430 square foot suite on the upper deck of an A380.
Ooh.
So that's like bigger than most hotel rooms, right?
So you're
like,
kind
the
of
whole
doing it
little-
like Air Force One style,
Yeah.
right?
So I know, the next time you're looking to fly to Abu Dhabi,
Okay.
you can keep that in mind. Also on the luxury front, real quick, I know we're running out of time. Ritz-Carlton is opening their first property in Italy.
Oh,
It's gonna be
interesting.
on Lake Como opening in 2026. So for those of you who have luxury-oriented clients looking for a nice lakeside retreat, Ritz-Carlton 2026.
Have you been to Lake Como?
I have not.
Okay. I've been to Lake Tahoe.
Been to Lake Lanier.
which is literally just down the road. So our Velma came in
Yeah.
and said that 17% is correct. So Amy won, because she's the first one that came in with 17%. So congratulations, Amy. You just got a $250 air credit, and we'll get that right to you.
Nice.
Or
Okay.
to someone of your choosing if you want to pass it on.
Right. So I in closing, I got one. I love trivia. I got one more thing. Speaking of Allianz, they did a survey of the top spring break destinations for 2023. So we'll do another $250 air certificate.
Oh, see, now I got to keep track of all this
That's
stuff.
right. You
You
gotta write
always
this stuff
leave
down.
me to keep track of it. Okay.
Do another. Here's what I want. I want the number one domestic and number one international. Got to get both of them. Spring break destination according to the Allianz survey. Don't go Google it. Use your travel knowledge. Top spring break domestic destination and top spring break international destination.
So you have to have both.
You got to get both.
Yeah.
Got to get both.
And So get it both in the answers. Okay. All right. I already know the answer, right?
Yeah.
Do I know the answer?
I think, yes.
Yeah. So it's Wendy. It's Wendy. She got it. Wendy.
What is it?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I can't keep secrets, so I'm still like being like, oh, I know the answer. So it is Cancun in Orlando.
That is correct. Not when you think about it, not too terribly surprising. One on the list that I was surprised by in the international list is Mexico City was number 8
Really
of the international destinations. That surprised me
interesting.
for spring break travel. That surprised me.
Huh.
Yeah. London at number 6, Paris at number 9.
So I know a fact about Mexico City.
Okay.
It's James Bondy. So in James Bond movie, I think it was the Spectre movie,
Mm-hmm.
or or maybe it's now I've got myself confused. Anyway, they were in Mexico City, and it was like this whole Day of the Dead parade and all this stuff.
Yes, great scene.
Yes, was it Skyfall or was it Spectre?
I don't remember.
All right, well anyway, it was one of those Daniel Craig ones. Anyway, so it was really good. Whatever. They never had that type of parade. Now they do it because of the
Because
James
of the
Bond-
movie?
Yeah, because of the movie. I think I've shared that before, but if you say Mexico City, I always go there. So
That's cool.
anyway, well, I haven't always gone there. I've never been to the parade. Anyway, all right, guys, it is that time in the show where we have to say goodbye, as painful as it is. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us and waiting for the lava lamp to kick in. You know, there's a lot of stimulation all the way around when you watch this show. And congratulations to our winners with $250 air credits, Wendy Laporte and Amy Little.
Fast on the draw.
Yep, fast on the draw. All right, guys, we will see you next week, 4 o'clock Eastern on Friday. And, can't wait to hear those wins. Bring some more wins to the table. All right.
We love you all. Be
girl.
well.
Oh, yeah.
Take